Hello everyone, welcome back again. Right, I had promised you summer dishes and they are coming, but tonight John really wanted me to share this one with you. I thought I'd actually put it up on YouTube because I've done this dish for him, but apparently we didn't, and it is definitely one of his favourites. And I've rattled on before about shin beef and the marrow bone. Well, I went and got some from Waitrose. It's on the counter. It's not pre-packed. It's on the counter, and I thought I should share it with you because the flavour is unbelievable, and it pressure cooks down to this most amazing, soft, beautiful meat and makes this heavenly stew, stroke casserole, whatever you want to call it, really. So I thought I'd show you this first. So you get a very thick, literally a very thick piece of the shin like this with the marrow bone. Now that is solid at the moment. The very middle part, you can see there, the very middle bit, that actually dissolves and that goes into your stock and gives it the most tremendous richness. I've never found anything that replaces that, so that's why to me it makes the most amazing stew. These two thick pieces, they came to £8. This used to be, years gone by, one of the cheapest cuts because people would shove it in the oven all day when people had argers and things like that. It's not anymore. Those two pieces cost me £8, but what it does give you is superb flavour and a beautiful. You're using cuts that are no longer popular now. In fact, they tend to use this cut, I believe, for pies and things like that. So, you know, I'm all for using the old cuts. Now, I'm going to pressure cook it, but what I'm doing first is I need to brown them off and I like to give it a bit of colour, intensifies flavour. So I've just got this heating up nicely, and I'm going to put one in at a time. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's sizzling away. So I'm just going to bring that round. I'm resisting the urge to put two in at once because the other piece is a bit thinner, but actually I think I'll go for it. I've seasoned one side and I'll season the other side just before I turn them over. I'll just get rid of that. That's going to be about, to get the colour and crust on it that I want, 5 or 10 minutes. So see you in a second, 5 and 10 minutes, okay? Right guys, that's my biggest one that's come out. It's got this lovely crustiness there. I'm just going to bring out the smaller one. Oops. They're quite heavy, these, to actually get hold of. And again, I've got nice crusting going on there. That's all I want to achieve on those, because they're going to go. I'm now going to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. I'm keeping it on saute. I'm going to throw in the in here there's half a white onion, half a red onion and 2 cloves of garlic. So they're going in, and what happens is the two shin beef sit on top of the vegetables, and then I just chuck these in here, big chunky veggies, mushrooms, carrot and celery. Okay, I'll give you the quantities in the description later on. So they're just going in there. I'm going to cook those just for a few seconds, get a little bit of softening into them. Then I'm going to tip in the stock, the bouquet garni, my favourite, and red wine. Red wine is really quite important to this. It's like a marriage made in heaven. The beef and the red wine, superb. I haven't tried it, but I have a friend who does the same recipe using stout. Now, she did say that certain stouts give her quite a bitter finish. I wouldn't like that. But she said if she uses Guinness, she gets a beautiful finish. So might be worth trying. But as I'm a red wine lover, and I've got a glass there, so cheers. Oh God, superb. I needed that today. It's been one of them days. Okay. Yep, that's looking lovely. I don't need to do anything else with that. I'm going to put that safe. Right, so I'll get my tongs back. On there, I'm going to put in 2 pieces of shin. Any bits of juice off them needs to go in. Grab my bouquet garni. Do make sure you fish this out, guys. You don't want anyone having an unpleasant surprise. Right, and we need to make up 300 ml of liquid before I can turn the pressure cooker on. In here is my very favourite intense beef stock pots from Knorr. They really back up that beefy flavour. So that's going in. And then into that we have got, I believe it was 250 ml of red wine. It is 250 ml of red wine. You want to this is going to make you a superb sauce. So you don't really want to use something that's really not fit to drink. Spend that little bit, pound 2 more, and get something that's quite pleasant. Okay, so that goes down. I'm now going to lock that. Right, okay, natural release. No, I want a quick release there we go. And I'm going to actually, because this is a very tough meat if it's not done long enough, so I'm going for 1 hour. Okay, and at that point it should be absolutely perfect. So let's get that away. In that 1 hour, that's going to give me time to prep up some veggies to have with it and show you where I go, because the bone comes out. I'll just check I've got everything. Yeah, set there. The bone actually, all the marrow has gone into your sauce and the bone sits there. Quite often in a restaurant, if you're having a shin beef that's been cooked with the marrow bone, the bone is set on the side of the plate. It's just to say, hey, the bone was in there. Whether or not I do that tonight, I don't know. But then we take the shin out and it just breaks up into lovely pieces, and I stir that back into the veggies and make a really delicious, so I usually reduce it and make a nice thick heavy sauce. Okay, so I'll see you in an hour while I prep up the rest of the veg for supper tonight. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon. Fingers crossed, this is looking good inside. I'm just waiting for it to tell me to open, because there's a lot of pressure built up there. If I open, well, it wouldn't open, it wouldn't unlock actually. That's a safety feature. Now it's telling me open lid, so I will slide the lid over. Okay, I am always careful lifting this just to let the initial steam out. That way it's called burping. There we go. Browser. Okay. You have a look in there. Right, okay. Our first job is to, there's some pieces of meat already come off, so let's fish them out. Others need to be come off the bone, which I'll do in a minute. Oh yeah, that's breaking in half. The very fact we've had some pieces just break away tells you how well cooked it is. Right, now in here we're going to take out the bouquet garni I was telling you about. Flip that in, back in there. Give that a stir around. Have a look if there's any deposits of meat. You need to know that there's no bits of meat in there with big chunks of fat on, because that wouldn't be nice for anybody. That looks gorgeous. What I'm going to do is now turn it off and put it onto a saute, because that will bubble away and thicken it while I take the meat off the bone. Can you actually see where that one's the best? The bone marrow's totally gone. There's still a little bit, actually I don't think there is. I think if I push that now, there's nothing actually there. Right, and it's gone on its own. I turned it off, it's gone to automatic sear and saute, which is what I want it to do. I will get a knife and a fork, get to work on these bits of meat. Now that bone, yeah, that bone should just literally plop away, as should this one. There shouldn't be any real pulling on this. Now any excess fat, because this is very much a muscle meat, if you come across any bands of fat, get rid of it. You want to make this dish super delicious for everybody. So any bands of gristle that you think may not have broken down during cooking. Generally speaking, with brisket, as I grew up, it was always cooked in an Aga up on the farms. So it was given 4 to 5 hours, even longer sometimes. Quite often, my aunt going to bed on a night would put the brisket just in the roasting tin and shove it in on the what you would call the low cook on your Aga, and it would be left there all night. So the longer this meat gets, the better. Right, now these are the bits we get rid of here. This is the outer band of fat. If you like, that's the outer band of fat around a cow's leg, because that's basically what it is. And that holds the shin meat in place around the shin. And that's very thick fat and it's very sinewy. And there's nothing to it but to get rid of that. It's not pleasant. But it comes away quite easily. This is when I wish I had a dog, because a dog would have loved a piece of marrow bone. When I was little growing up in Yorkshire, puppy walked foxhounds. Oh my god, the foxhounds loved a marrow bone. Anything you think is thick sinew, do get rid of. There is a little bit of marrow bone there. I'm putting back in there because if you've got any marrow bone left in the bone, shove it in your stock. It's absolutely beautiful stuff. Right, I've got to try a little piece of this. My god, you don't even have to chew it, it sort of dissolves. Okay, so that's our meat left there. That's our fat, and it is just fat. As I say, it's a big piece of fat. Don't be frightened of these type of fats because they actually bring flavour. It's like when you buy a ribeye steak and everyone says, that was so tasty. It's because it's got some fat in it. And the same with the Wagyu steaks. Their fat is very fine, but it's rippled right through the meat. Okay, now I've got to think about, it's running late, I've got to do some mash. And the quickest way for me tonight, and for you guys who want to make this simple, I have no issue with using a few gravy granules. Normally I'd maybe make a butter roux and put that in there, but it's getting late. We're now at 7:20 and I haven't ate yet. And I've been at work all day, so good old Tesco beef gravy granules will do the trick. Just a sprinkle, it doesn't need much. Or you could, if you don't have any in, you could actually, and I quite often use cornflour. But when I'm rushed like I am tonight, oh god, that's smelling amazing. Oh god, taste that. Right, the meat is actually going to be spun back in there. Just let me, I just don't want my broccoli overcooking, so I'm just going to turn the broccoli off and just have a oh my god. Right, you really get the red wine as well. That is absolutely wonderful. And you get the you do get the essence of vegetable in there, and definitely the bouquet garni and the garlic. It all just blends, it blends so well. Right, that's going in there. Right, I'll keep the bone. I'm not putting the bone in because I will probably serve that on a plate with a spoonful of gravy just poured in the middle of it. And then anything that's in there still pushes through into the gravy. Okay, you don't have to though. Like I say, if you've got dogs, they'll be your best friends forever. Right, that's more than ready. I'm actually now going to have to turn that off because I don't want that getting. I don't want to lose any more. Right, okay, give me 5 minutes and you'll see me serving that. I've just got to, we're having celeriac mash tonight and tender stem broccoli. Okay, so I'm just going to get the mash sorted out and serve it up. See you soon. we've got enough for another meal in there. Okay, that's it guys, and it smells divine. It's so, you can really put whatever veg you want in there. I've just kept it simple: celery, onions, mushroom, but you know, whatever. If you want to put parsnip in, it won't really alter the flavour, because the flavour of the marrow bone and the beef are so strong that it won't alter the balance of the sauce, especially not if you follow my measurements on the red wine. It's just beautiful. I put an old-fashioned grating of nutmeg onto the celeriac mash as well. That's another thing that was always done when I was growing up. In fact, any mashed potato always had a grating of that. People always think nutmeg should only ever be on the savoury, on the sweet things like rice puddings, but time's gone by, they used it a lot on the savouries as well. It just gives that lovely, just a little hint of flavour to it. Okay, I can't wait. I'm starving. It's ridiculously late and I'm starving hungry. Love to you all, and I'm bouncing back with my spring recipes very soon. You've had the first one that I did with the chicken skewers, and I'm working on some different bits and pieces for you. Okay, see you shortly. Bye for now.